Now in Zoom meeting window.
All right.
Okay. Well, Jessica, I wanted to welcome you back to Aaron's Opinion, of course. You have been here many times. Let me just get this all situated here.
Closing WhatsApp. Mail. Active. Mail. Mail. Closing mail folder. Settings. One. Do not disturb. Do not disturb. Off. On.
And what I want to talk about in tonight's
Tab bar. Timer. Select.
meeting.
Timer. Tab. 404. Start. Button. Pause.
Yeah, there we are. Okay, what I want to talk about tonight is that you are starting up basically a diamond decorating business, I believe, right?
Diamond painting business, but yeah.
Okay, diamond painting business. Very, very good. So how have things been going, and what can you tell us about your diamond painting business?
It's been going good. I'm still slowly working on things. I'm sorting the different diamonds and ordering different ones that I'm going to be making. There's no real theme to it. Like some people do themes. I don't do that. It's just, I don't care to. I just do random ones. Like next one I'm going to be starting when I get my diamond stored from the ones I got in the mail yesterday is my large Nativity diamond painting.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the one I'll be starting here soon.
Right. Sure. Sure. So, how did you get into this whole diamond decorating, and how does it work? Because I think there are a lot of people who will want to learn about this. So, yeah, how does all of this work? Mm-hmm.
That's funny. I got into it through YouTube. Kind of funny. I was watching random videos, and I was looking for something to kind of just keep my hands busy because having Asperger's and the other things I have kind of
Right.
makes it kind of hard to deal with. So I just got interested in it through other people on YouTube doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of, it's something that I actually found I'm able to do. Like a lot of other things I've tried taking on have been too hard for me to understand,
Yeah.
hand-eye coordination, all that other stuff. So this seemed the easiest to me, and I've just fallen in love with it. It's just,
Good. 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 Well, that is all fine. So, where for one thing, where do you get the diamonds from? Like, what are they, and how does that work?
They're not real diamonds. That's what they're little mini, I guess if you want to call them sequins. And each diamond kit you order, I do it from all over. Like I do Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, and I also do a place called Diamond Art Club, which has an app now for the iPhone. And I mean, you can get them all over. There's another new company that just opened in the United States a few days ago, a few weeks ago, called Craftably,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm going to be trying and ordering from this coming month. So that'll be interesting. So there's all sorts of different websites you can look for them on, depending on the price range you want.
Good. Now, have you thought about getting into decorating other things, such as bracelets and things?
Yeah, I actually have a box of those I haven't done yet, and they're selling some people do bookmarks and stuff. I might take that on later on down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people I know through my diamond art groups that I'm on Facebook, a lot of them actually go to craft fairs and stuff and sell their stuff. So eventually that might be a thing to look at for me down the road too. We'll see.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's good because I interviewed someone else in our community for blind people, and she spends a lot of time handcrafting bracelets and things like that. So this could be a really fun business for a lot of people, and I think people really do appreciate handmade art like this. This is really beneficial for people. Mm-hmm. So yes. Anyway, that is good. How have things been going? I think that you always like to talk about different things that are going on in your life. So, what else has been going on these days?
Just dealing with the fact that a lot of my family is kind of being, I don't know what's the word. They're trying to convince us to get the vaccine, even though we disagree with it. And I don't trust it. I don't believe in the government. I never have. But it was kind of like a healthy distrust. Now the government has shown their true colors. And, my family's like, well, if you don't get the vaccine, you don't care about us. And that's obviously not true. It's just and that's the sad thing. The government is using this vaccine to tear families and loved ones apart from each other, and it's destroying our world.
Right, right. Yeah, it is. It is a very serious matter, I think. My opinion would be that I think you're, as I've said before, I think you're entitled to your opinion, Jessica. But I think that I can understand where other people would be concerned, either way. So yeah, I mean, I do understand the concern. But I really hope that we're able to get over this problem, this situation.
Yeah, I mean, all these mandates and stuff. It's like we used to have the right to choose. That's a God-given right, and they're basically unraveling the Constitution and doing away with it. I mean, everything that was once right is now wrong, and what was once wrong is now right. Everything's kind of topsy-turvy.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Well, my advice to you is that you're to a greater degree, you're on the right track. You are partially, in a lot of ways, you are not necessarily wrong. I will tell you that I myself have, my own, we all have our struggles, and you just have to find your escape. For me, it's podcasting, and stuff like that. So it just depends on, what you like to do, and things like that. So, I mean, as I say, I would, strongly advise that, you get into this, handmade art, and keep building up from there, and just enjoy doing that. And I know it's hard to not worry, but to also, at some level, try to not worry too much about all this craziness.
I'm not so much worried as it's people are showing their true colors too, and now the people you thought you once knew, it's like, did I know you, or is this the real you? You know what I mean? You start to see people for who they really are.
Mm-hmm.
When
Right.
stuff starts going down, people's real sides come out, and then it's like, oh.
Right. Right. Yeah, that is very, very, very frustrating. So, but anyway, what else has been going on? Outside of all this, what other things have been going on? In your life.
Just enjoying time at home and trying to not go out much, like I said, with everything going on. And we're still in touch with people out here. And we have friends come over every once in a while from church to help do things around the house for us. But other than that, we're just enjoying the peace and quiet.
Right. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, that's absolutely true. But yeah, I mean, as for me, I just got this new microphone, so I'm really getting my podcasting, up to the next thing. We are doing a lot of expanding here at Aaron's Opinion. I just interviewed someone earlier today who has a lot of influence in the Spanish-speaking community. So it was a very,
nice.
very, very rewarding interview. Yeah, I'm really glad she was able to speak to me. So the other thing that I know that you and Wayne have worked on a lot is your YouTube channel. So what's going on?
I haven't really been dealing with YouTube a lot. I watch videos, but I haven't been adding anything to my channel because, like I said, I'm just trying to get this, Etsy stuff off the ground. So once I get the business started, then I can post about it on YouTube. But I want to
Right.
get it off the ground first.
Right. Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's okay. That's true. Okay, right about there. Okay, that's okay. Not there. Okay. Um, yeah, that's definitely the case. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I've also become a movie and television show hobbyist
mm-hmm.
collector. So I've been doing that over time. So we've got a lot of movies on DVD and Blu-ray, TV series on DVD and
Right.
Blu-ray. I've become kind of a multitasking, if you will, of hobbies.
Sure. 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 Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. So that's yeah. I mean, that's all of those things. All of those things are really, really good. And I really hope that we get back to seeing some more videos from Mrs. Chime, and that we start
I will
getting
definitely get to that once I get this, job thing off the ground.
right. So let's get it off the ground by telling us for one thing. Where can someone find your Etsy shop for one thing?
You have
That's what
to go
it's
on.
called.
It's on Etsy.com, and my shop is called Farmhouse Diamonds.
Okay. Well, how about can you? I know you haven't posted any new.
No, I
Um,
haven't put anything on there yet, but that's the shop name. And also, once I get it up there, I might post some, because some people sell on Amazon, so I might sell there and stuff too. So I'll be posting on different sites.
right. Sure. That's really good. That's really excellent. Um, yeah. I mean, so how does? So by the way, what is Etsy? I mean, I've heard of it around the community, but I've
But
never really known.
Etsy is a handmade shop site. Everybody on there does stuff homemade, handmade. I buy from all different sellers. Some people sell, bookmarks. Some people sell, picture frames. Some people sell candles. It's kind of an eclectic mix of homemade stuff people make out of their homes.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's
Sure. Okay, so what did you need to do, to get into this Etsy business? And from the perspective from a blindness perspective, I actually forgot for a second that actually you're sighted. But from a blindness perspective, what do you think, or what is your impression of this Etsy, and like how it all works?
I don't think it's very accessible to the blind. I mean, I think that's one thing they could change and update is make it more accessible to
Mm-hmm.
the visually handicapped and disabled. Even for me, being sighted, Etsy is still kind of hard for me to get around and find everything a lot of times because Etsy is so diverse and widespread, and there's so many different sellers and shops on there. Having a learning disability does make that a lot more complicated.
Right. Sure. It definitely. So basically, you had to create a shop on this from this Etsy company, right?
Yeah, and you have to create and decide what you're going to be selling your stuff for. Like, depending on the size diamond I get and I make, I'll be charging, different prices. Smaller ones I'll probably charge around $10. Medium ones probably, around 20, 25, and the bigger ones probably at least 100, depending on sizes again.
Mm-hmm. And so can you show us any of these pieces of art? Do you have any around the house there that you could show us by any chance? So I can
Yeah,
like relate to it. Yeah, I'm just curious.
then I can show you the current one I'm working on here.
Okay. All right. So for the audio side, so she's showing us a art table here. Very nice. Okay.
It's our dining room table, but yeah.
A dining room table. Okay. Very good to know. Good to know. So what do you
Yeah.
have there?
This one is a cross painting that I'm doing as a gift from a friend of ours a family member of ours out here.
Okay.
It's a
Got it.
cross, and then Jesus is on the cross in the middle of the bigger cross.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a little cabin on the bottom left-hand corner, and on the bottom right, there's a little lighthouse.
Mm-hmm. Right. Sure. Excellent. Okay, now is that like a painting that you would? Yeah, I see it there. Yeah. So is that like a painting? What makes up that painting, for example?
It's all the different sequins, and it kind of, it's like pixels. When you take a picture with a camera, it's kind of like what a camera does,
Mm-hmm.
but it's, you know, instead of pixels, you use the diamonds or sequins, if you will, in place of the pixels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like a dot.
Yeah, kind of like, you know, when people do cross stitch, it's kind of the same idea, but you're using sequins versus string.
I see. I see. Very, very good. Very, very good. So, like, how many? So, can you make like any picture, or are there like kits of pictures that you have to make? Like,
It's
how do you?
kits of pictures. They already come with a picture on the tapestry it comes with. I don't know what you call these, but and you have to follow the pattern. They each come with their own kit, and there's a number thing that you follow along, and each number goes to each little image or section. You have to just use the number guide, and each diamond comes sorted in their own little baggies like this.
Right. Right. Sure.
Original sound on button.
Right. Okay. Good. Good. Yeah, that's definitely a very, very interesting. It kind of reminds me, Jessica. It kind of reminds me of needlepoint, or like those art kits like
Kind of
that.
the same idea. Very, very similar. Yes.
So it's like a needlepoint with these little gem-ish things, artistic
Yeah.
gem-ish things.
Yeah, they're like, I call them sequins or crystals or, you know, whatever have you.
Right, right. Because this this is turning out to be quite as always, a very every episode gets very interesting here. This is turning out to be a bit of a tour here, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Aw.
getting my dog from outside.
Oh, that's so nice. So nice. Yeah, well, you know, oh, there she is. Hi there. Hi
Her
there.
name is Twyla.
Twyla.
Yeah.
Yes.
We named her after Twyla Paris, the Christian singer.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, she's a very, very sweet little black dog there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's
How much does she
black.
weigh?
She's a miniature black Doodle. She weighs about 35 pounds.
I would say about 45 pounds.
Okay, 45 pounds.
So smaller than my dog. Smaller than
Yeah.
my guide dog. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know you had a guide dog.
I did. I don't. The reason is because I don't make a big deal of it when I'm recording. But yeah. So yeah.
I
My
love dogs. I've always been a dog person.
Yeah, my guide dog was about 60 pounds. So she's Twyla's a little smaller. Yeah, that's very nice. That's lovely. And okay, so what are some, like, you know, podcasting ideas that you guys have been thinking about? I know that you guys have been thinking about a lot of podcasting ideas.
He's been thinking about quite a few. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing different diamond art. You know, I see people do guided diamond art stuff where they will actually guide you through each of the diamond paintings. You know, which I'm thinking about doing something like that, or, you know, or they call them kitting up videos where they will show you how to sort the diamonds before you do the picture. So I might do something like that. I can do a mix of things.
I see. And how does it come? Does it come like in a box with like little packets of the little individual pouches of the diamonds? Like, you know.
Some come in boxes, some come in tubes. They all come in different forms.
I see. I see. Okay, so it all depends on how advanced, like not really advanced, just, you know what I mean, how in depth the design
How in depth, how large, how many, you know, what the artist did, you know, when they made the picture,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
how much detail there is involved.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's really good. So, like, what is the hardest or the most difficult art thing you could ever? I mean, does it take practice doing these diamond arts?
When I first got started, it did, but once you file the kit, it gets really simple, and then you just kind of, it becomes like secondhand knowledge, if you will. You pretty much just go right along, and I watch videos, listen to music while I'm doing it. I mean, once you figured out the whole routine of it, you can pretty much do anything you want.
Right. Right. Yeah, that is very very good. That is excellent. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Like this nativity one I'll be doing has quite a few different colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 60 by 50 centimeters, so it's one of the bigger ones I've done. But
Here,
the
let's-
ones I'm gonna be ordering off Craftably this coming month are going to be even bigger than this.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's see that. Let's see that one though. Where go?
I can show you real quick. Hold on. Yeah.
Okay, I know. It's hard, but it's kind of hard to portray it on YouTube.
This
It might actually. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, that looks like a pretty big project there.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so what is that picture?
For a couple of days.
Huh?
So what is that picture?
It's a nativity. It's Mary and Mary and Joseph holding Jesus, and then on the right, it's one of the arches, and there's a little lamb at the bottom, and a donkey, another lamb, a goat, a cow, another lamb,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's kind of like the glass. What do you call them? The glass painted windows you see in all the churches. It's kind of like that.
Wow. So how long would it take you to put that all together? And
This one will probably take me at least a few weeks
Mm-hmm.
because of the size.
It reminds me of my dogs would have definitely eaten those little gems.
Yeah, I make sure to keep them away from Twyla when I'm doing this. I make sure if I do drop them on the floor, I get down and get them right away.
Yeah.
And I have a little thing I can use to pick them up with.
I see.
Over there on your coffee table, desk.
I see. So it comes with. So what, you found a little way to pick them up when they fall, or how does
I
that
have
work?
a little machine, or else I use my hand to pick them up. And then I found one over here. I can show you this one. I actually bought an easel to go with it. Not to go with this one, but I bought easels to do them too. This one's a square diamond painting. You can either do square or round diamonds. And this one kind of reminded me of a Thomas Kincaid painting. I don't know if you know who he is.
Vaguely. That name rings a bell.
He's
Here,
a famous painter.
try to turn the camera a little bit more, maybe to your right. There we are. Yeah. So what's that painting there?
This one is of a kind of a cottage off of a. There's a little stream running in front of the cottage, and kind of, like I said again, it kind of reminds me of the Thomas Kincaid paintings he was painting many years ago when he was still alive.
Right. Yeah. That name rings a bell. That name definitely rings a bell. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yes. Well, good. And so that is all very good. So when you get an order for one of these products, I know nobody has ordered, but like how does that process work? Then do you have to like box up what they buy and then you mail, like how does that process work?
Yeah, I would have to box it up or bag it up and take it either to the post office or else, depending on sizes, because post office out here only does certain size packaging because of regulations here right now.
Right.
But yeah, I would have to either do it post office or FedEx or UPS.
Sure. Definitely. Yes.
Yeah, and I've been buying different. I mean, each kit comes with a little diamond painting pen. I can show you the simple one. I've got a more intense diamond painting pen over on the dining table, but this is one of their basic kit pens. It comes with a little, thing that you can hold with, and then it's their basic diamond painting pen. It's got a round pointy end, and you stick it in this wax stuff, and that's how you grab the little diamonds to put them on the pictures. And each kit comes with its own wax. It comes with a little tray and a diamond painting pen.
Right. I see. So you have to like put the diamond at the end of the pen and then put the diamond where it belongs in the.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how do you tell where the diamonds go though? You have to look at the picture.
Yeah. with the picture, and there's a diagram with a grid, and it says, this number goes with this little image, this number, and each number has its own little picture or icon, if you will, and I follow each icon with a number on the little grid on the side of each picture and follow along. It's kind of like I consider it like a puzzle, but with diamonds instead of puzzle pieces.
Yeah, this is a really good, the irony behind this is, this is, this is very ironic because, most of our guests, most of our audience are blind people. So, I mean, this is a terrible hobby for blind people, but a really good hobby for you because it's fun. You have some tools to sort of use there, and then you're creating art that looks nice once you're done. Going through the whole process. So yeah, I get that. That's really cool. So do they have can you buy an animal kit and then have an animal that you can draw? Mm-hmm. What do you think? Uh-oh. Jessica? What happened?
I'm here.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Okay. I don't know what happened there. So can you have an animal kit where you would have a picture of a dog or a picture of a bird or something?
You can actually have it done if you go to certain websites like Diamond Art Club, Amazon. You can actually send in your own pictures of family, animals, and they'll make it for you and send it to you, and you can do the diamond paintings that way of your own personal. You can have personal creations made.
Oh, I see. So in other words, you could take a picture of something that you want to diamond art, and then they would send the diamonds back to you that would fit it, I guess?
Yeah, or they'd send you the kit with the picture you sent them, but it'd be into a diamond picture, and you use the diamonds for the picture.
Right, but then if you're taking pictures, then they would have to come up with some unusual colors of these diamond
they'd make the image and design for you, and then you'd make the picture.
Right, so they would get it pretty close. If they didn't have that particular color, then they would get it close enough. Right.
Right.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, that is very interesting. Yes. So do they have have you done a bird or something like that, or have you done
one of the ones in my back hall closet that's partially done right now? You're gonna find this kind of cute. Is a white Siberian tiger playing in the snow.
That is interesting. Especially, I would wonder, well, how can I see the tiger?
He's got the black stripes. He kind of looks more like a cheetah to me, but it's a tiger.
Mm-hmm.
He's got black stripes, and he's running in the snow, and there's maple leaves on the ground because it, fall and winter picture combined.
Right. Yes.
I like animals though, but yeah, one of the ones I'll be getting eventually from Amazon is, cardinals sitting on a tree branch. It just has light little snow on it.
Right. Sure. So basically, you could buy one of these kits from Amazon, and then you would then be able to do the artwork itself, and then you can sell it back to someone else who wanted that particular image, I guess. Right? Mm-hmm. That's really cool. That's really interesting.
And people can put them up in their homes and stuff. I mean, I've seen some people that actually have found actual Thomas Kincaid paintings, and they've sold them for a good amount of money, and people use them to decorate their homes.
So this is kind of like an alternative to paint. In a way, this is another version of painting something.
I call it dry painting, because you kind of are painting, but instead of with a brush, you're using a pen.
Yeah. That's really intriguing. That's really interesting. Yeah, that's all really good. So, and what are some paintings that you hope to be able to work towards putting together in the future? Obviously, you would have to practice this, right?
Over time, once you like I said before, once you get used to the kind of motions and following the grids, it becomes kind of second nature, and you just kind of do it without even thinking about it. And I support all sorts of different shops on Etsy. Like one of the ladies I bought from a while ago, she makes her own wax for the diamond painting kits, and she sells them in these cute little old-fashioned containers, if you will, and they each have a different scent, and each container has a different picture on it. So I store my wax in a little pencil box.
I see, but then how does I don't quite understand that one. How does the wax fit into the equation, though?
Because the wax, you stick the pen down in the wax, or these little, each picture comes with like a little wax. I don't know if you call it a sheet. That's what I call it. They're little wax sheets, or else they have their own little wax cases that come in, and they're each got plastic wrap on them, and you take the plastic wrap off each side, and you stick the pen down in the wax. And when you pull back out, there's wax in the bottom of the pen, and then you put the pen with the wax against the diamonds, and the wax acts like a sticky glue, if you will. And then the diamond painting picture is sticky too, kind of like glue. It's, that's what they use to make these, what's it called, poured glue. So the wax on the pen is sticky and the picture's sticky, so that's how the diamonds stick to everything.
Right. Sure. That's really, really interesting. So, besides all of this, what are some other things that you are working on these days?
Other than that, right now, that's about it, because that kind of takes up a lot of time. Like I said, I collect movies and stuff on the side and different things, and I watch different TV shows to stay busy. So I kind of do an eclectic mix of things.
Yeah, that's really good. Really, really excellent. So how long would it take you to put together one of these paintings?
It depends on the size. Some could take weeks, some could take a month. I've seen some people, one of the ladies I know on Etsy, I talked to her, some of the pictures she's done, one of the biggest ones she'd ever done took her 6 months.
Wow. And then, of course, then the longer it takes you to put it together, then then the more you should sell it for, right?
You would think, yeah. I mean, I will do it based on timing and size, and like I said, I have a little box of the bracelets. They're diamond painting bracelets that I'll eventually be doing, and I'm going to eventually buy bookmarks, and I'll be doing those as well. And I also have a stamp collection that I got from my grandmother when she was still alive. So I'm going to be selling some of my stamp artwork eventually too.
Oh, what is stamp artwork? What's that mean?
It's, you put stamps, and like stamp when you stamp an envelope, but you make different pictures with stamps. And I've gotten a collection that my grandma had years ago when I was just a little girl. And so I'll be doing different pictures with those and selling them eventually.
Right.
So I'll be kind of doing a mix of different items.
Well, that's really good. That's really, really good. Yeah, I definitely have some picture ideas for things that I would like to see how it would come across in the diamond art, for sure. Yeah. Really, really interesting. Well, okay. Well, what else? Oh, and so how would some, like, what's the process for if someone's listening to this or watching this and they want to buy one of your pieces of artwork? Like, what's the turnaround time, and like how...
It depends. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I would assume once you go on Etsy and you buy the thing, it'll tell you how many days for shipping, and because I would have to pay the shipping and stuff for them, and then they just pay for the order.
Right.
All the money you make goes back.
All the money I would make would go back into the shop to either buy more supplies or else, pay for shipping and stuff like that.
Right. So unless we get more people to know about your shop, it's a little challenging to actually make a profit. But I think it's a really good activity. I think it's very positive for you and very, very, very peaceful for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I've also noticed it's improved my hand-eye coordination a lot. I don't you know, so it's helping on that end with my disability as well. So I mean, it's kind of benefiting in a lot of ways.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That is the case. Yes.
It's a good learning thing too. It's a good learning tool. I mean, I know some people, even some teacher friends of mine, are actually bringing it into the classrooms and teaching the kids how to do it.
Yeah, this would be really good in an art class. I could see this being in a middle school or a high school art class.
Yeah, I've seen high school teachers doing this, middle school, elementary, even. This is actually, even elementary kids could do this. This is for something of all ages.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how hard can it? I mean, I'm sure it would get more difficult though. That's
depending on the size picture and the amount of colors and diamonds you use. Yes, it gets a lot more difficult, but it's not impossible. I mean, kids take things on pretty well. I mean, like I said, I know a bunch of my teacher friends are doing it and bringing it into their classrooms as kind of like a reward activity for the kids when they have good behavior and stuff. They not only teach it, but they use this kind of a side activity as a reward for good behavior and stuff.
Yeah, I could see this would be a really positive activity for children, especially artistically. Artistic children or children even who need to improve their coordination or just kind of need something to do. This. I mean, you could put on a podcast. You could listen to Aaron's opinion and put one of these things together. This is kind of like your version of painting or drawing. This is how you relate to painting and drawing.
The nice thing is, even those, like I said, that are learning disabled or learning challenged, I call it, people that normally, and like I said, for me being learning disabled and stuff, right. I have a hard time learning things. And I have to learn things 2 or 3 times before I get it. But for some reason, this is something that didn't take that much, and I could do it pretty much right away.
Right.
So it's even good for the learning disabled and stuff, or the learning challenged.
Sure. So maybe if you're someone who, and there are probably many people here at Aaron's Opinion who can relate to this, if you're someone who has, a learning disability or some sort of challenge like that, this would really be calming and really productive, at the same time.
Right.
Well, that's all very good. So I do hope that after this episode, you can send me the link to your personal shop.
Absolutely.
And then we can get it up on my channel. So we can get some. So maybe Jessica, seriously, maybe if we get enough people interested in your shop, then actually maybe this can be somewhat profitable, where you don't just keep spending money, on the thing. Maybe we can get it so that you can actually make a little bit each time you buy the sets and set them up and then send them back to the person who bought it. That type of thing. It's kind of a little disorienting when you think about it. I would go to your shop and buy the image, and then you would go through the trouble of making it and then go through the trouble of sending it back. So it's kind of a circular equation like that. But a very interesting, a very beautiful equation at the same time. So, yeah. Well, I think I heard Wayne over there. Wayne, do you want to check in and say a few words while we're here? I know.
What's that?
Do you have a couple words to say for us? Because I know you always love sharing your opinions, and you always love coming on the podcast. So Jessica's done a great job with the art. I also want to turn it over to you so you can say everything that's on your mind, because you always got something on your mind. Don't tell me you don't have anything on your mind.
Well, as far as what Jess is doing, she's actually doing something that she's enjoying, and it's productive for her. And she needs that to stay calm.
Outlet, yeah.
Yeah, and I've noticed that even though it's a pain in the neck sometimes to get her attention, but it does keep her focused. And as far as everything else, well, let's just say one day at a time.
Yeah, seriously. So when are we going to be hearing more? One of the things that I noticed, I mean, I notice a lot of things as I'm expanding the podcast, but one thing that I've noticed is that I think you've been a little, how do I put this? A little
Sidetracked?
frazzled, shall we say? A little frazzled with this, with setting up your podcast and doing all the things that you want to do. So I think you feel a little stuck with your podcast. Wayne, what's going
That is
on there?
correct.
Yeah.
The problem that I have is that it's hard to come up with ideas. Some people want me to come up with ideas on the fly. And the way my podcasts work is I can't do that because I need time to play with the idea to kind of get it to work. Like, for instance, I have an idea for a Christmas podcast. I know it's early, but I'm already starting to think how I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with the old radio or TV show called Dragnet.
I mean, I'm not familiar, but I've kind of heard of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, basically, it's an early version of a cop show. But what
Okay.
I'm going to do is I'm going to
Yeah. Uh-oh.
put it in Dragnet form, except I'm calling it ProtectNet.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And that way, because I'm trying to find different ways without changing the Bible story to demonstrate or illustrate to people what Christmas is really about. And if you look on my YouTube channel, you'll see several Christmas podcasts that I've done over the years. And then I have one that I'm hoping to start. I keep saying I'm going to start it, but I get sidetracked.
Right.
There's a bluegrass gospel song by Ricky Skaggs called Halfway Home Cafe, where basically these people come in there. They're having to make a choice. Are they going to go home or are they going to go back to their old life? And I'm going to see, and I'm going to do my podcast based on this song. And what I'm also going to do at the end of it is I'm going to play the song that it was based from on the guitar myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably won't have it out until next month because there's some sound effects I got to purchase to do that. But it's coming together. But the biggest problem that I have is I have writer's block. I need ideas. And I mean, I don't want off the wall. And believe me, I've gotten, what was the one we recently had, Jess?
The autism one?
Yeah. A person wanted me to do a podcast on comforting for autism or sensory overload.
Right.
And
That's kind of complicated for you to do.
Yeah, I had to turn that one down because, like Jess just said, it's complicated. And also, there are different levels of autism and different types of SPD or sensory processing disorder.
Right.
Which is what Jess has. And I couldn't just do that on the fly. That's why I had to turn that down.
Right.
So,
right.
So, I mean, I'm always open. I mean, if anybody has any ideas, send them my way as long as they're clean and wholesome. And if I can do them, I'll do them.
Okay. Well, I understand, quite frankly, sometimes it can be difficult to talk about, all of these different issues. I mean, it's, the thing with podcasting, the secret that nobody's telling you is you just have to just go for it. I mean, I just had to figure out how to use a new microphone and get to a meeting. So,
Right. And also, and the other thing I have to really be careful of is saying certain things on certain platforms so I don't get censored.
I know it. And, nothing that you say bothers me. But
I know. But for us, for a lot of us people, it's no problem.
Other people that listen to it could censor it and stuff.
Right.
It's like YouTube is yanking videos down left and right on people.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm very frustrated about that. But I mean, I also think that when these types of things happen, around the podcast community, around around the YouTube community. It's really it's really up to us to to follow up. If someone says something, I had someone else who's been on the show in the past a very long time ago, but someone that you would all remember. And this person, it doesn't really matter who it is because the story's beside the point. She had someone was bothering her on her channel and was just using her channel just to harass her. So a lot of times, and people have, there's been two people, I'm not going to tell you who they are on the recording because that would be far too much fun to give someone credit for misbehaving.
Right.
But I've had, and that's one trick. You only reward good behavior. You don't reward bad behavior. We have a lot of this drama in the YouTube community is rewarding bad behavior. So that's, if you only focus on the good, then you will discover that you have a lot less problems with, as you say, censorship on your on anyone's content. But a lot of times people, I'm starting to find this out in my life in general, that if someone is just ilking off and taking a swing at you for some weird reason, the secret is because there's something wrong with them and that they just don't know where to go. These are people that just don't know how to act. It's very, very, very unfortunate. But I've had two people, as I say, I'm not going to say who it was, but I've had two people who misbehaved here at Aaron's Opinion. And I felt sorry for them. Both of them were simply just confused and misled, and then didn't know how to act. And they are neither. And I don't speak to either one of them, and they don't speak to me. And people, and over time, you figure out, what, I'm only going to reward you when you're good, and I'm going to ignore you when you're having some fit or doing something that we don't like. It's a little trick to that, I guess. But
right. Well, I also want to put a plug in. I am also now, like you, Aaron, I'm also on the Helium Radio Network. They have me on. I have never listened to my shows because I am always in bed when they come on. They come on every Wednesday night at 10. And I am so thankful for those people there. It's like Justin, the manager of the station. Right now, which I'm thankful for, he's told me to hold off a little bit because what he's doing is he's combining my podcasts into episodes for my half-hour time slot, and I have over 60 of them. So I have to say that the people at Helium are really, I have no problems with them. I'm so thankful they will work with me.
Yeah. I've been really really impressed with all of them. They've been supportive here at Aaron's Opinion. They've syndicated our show there, and that's been really, really, really good. So I'm really impressed.
If anybody knows of another accessible video platform besides YouTube, send it our way so we know.
I'm not sure one really exists. I mean, I think YouTube is right now is the biggest and the most, where most of the people are, but that's the other thing, that there's a lot of people around YouTube that there's a lot of bots too. So the other thing too, and I was talking to our great friend Whistler in the community about this, that you got to be careful about this. Just because someone flags the video, it doesn't mean that it was actually a real person. A lot of times there's bots or software that go around and for whatever reason flag a certain content just for some reason, So
well, how do you know if it's a bot or a human?
What you do is if you disagree with a ruling, you decline. You basically decline the ruling. In other words, you disagree with the computer, and then by doing that enough times, that sends a ticket to actual people who work up at YouTube, and then they look at it and then they figure out, okay, well, let's say that it was a bot that was kind of pestering Wayne's channel and doing things either maliciously.
I know Facebook's gotten me on it too.
Right. So it could have been bots or weird people. Either way, for the most part, what Whistler was telling me, because this other what was it? A YouTuber. I'm not gonna. One of the people here at Aaron's Opinion. They got their video got flagged because What was the reason? It was weird. It was like Jaws or voiceover was on, and then the voiceover read something off of a website that the YouTube didn't want to be read by a.
Oh boy.
Some weird. It was weird. It was like he said we're flagging your video because you used Jaws, or it was some weird story. And this young lady, I've spoken to her several times here at Aaron's Opinion, not recently, but and I don't think she ever joined the group specifically, but then we kind of worked it out, and then we concluded that a lot of the things at YouTube are software from YouTube or software from bots. So the other thing to do when you're a YouTuber is, if you get a good comment, if a real person manages to say something nice, which is pretty strange when they manage to say anything nice, or actually it's pretty weird.
I know.
It's weird if they reply at all. So if they do, and if it's a really nice comment, it's very important that you like the comment right that second, and then you write a nice thank you message back by pushing the reply. What that will do is it will actually increase your engagement stat. And when you have a higher engagement ranking, that basically gives your channel more value. It kind of is like an investment on your channel.
Gains more interest that way.
But the computer keeps track of how quickly you respond. So things like that. So that's, these are some of the tricks that I'm finding out. Just as Aaron's Opinion has crossed 100 subscribers, these are the things that I'm starting to figure out that are working, for me.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's good to know.
So you just kind of admitted that you weren't really watching all the videos.
Right. But that's it. I'm still going to continue to use Spreaker. I find that the only problem that I have with Spreaker is I can't merge segments like I can with Anchor. But the problem is with Anchor, I can share it to YouTube. Spreaker does it automatically.
I know. And that's the thing that I've been loving about Anchor, is that with the Anchor app, I'm able to do a lot. Anchor is just more artistic and more creative and things like that. So it's a lot easier I think I would highly recommend both. I would recommend either company either way. Both are excellent choices.
Oh yeah, they are. And
Spreaker,
Backpack Studio, I don't know if you use that one. I use that for my recordings. They are actually adding new stuff to it. I follow them on Twitter. So I kind of keep an eye on what they're adding for it. Eventually they're going to be adding more mic effects like reverb and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, that's really good. That's really, really good to know.
Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I've just been trying to stay cool and go from there.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's one of the many reasons why I put together these videos and podcasts, is because I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart to tell you that my life is far from easy or perfect.
I know.
Well, I don't know. Everybody says that I don't know. Everybody else has a better life than me, so I don't know. But or maybe it's just the grass is greener on the other side type of thing. Who knows how that works? But
what my response to that is? For those people that think that others have a better life than them, look around you. Be thankful for what you got and who you are.
Right.
There's always someone better off than you, and there's always someone worse off than you.
That's right.
Yeah. I think in the world today, we have a lot of people who are worse off than the three of us. Way worse.
But there are also people who are better than us. So it's better to accept the hand that God has given you and go with it.
Or don't, or in other ways, learn to fish for yourself and try not to bite the hand that feeds you along the way. Right.
Exactly. Or don't put your hand in a lion trap.
Or that.
Or twice.
Or that. So, I mean, like, what are your plans? For the fall. Like, what are some of your well, I mean, we're almost to fall now. When you think about it, what are some of your plans for the fall?
Well, really, we're just taking it one day at a time at this point.
We've got appointments coming up next month, a few of them, but everything else we do here at the house.
Yeah, and like I said, we just take it one day at a time, and unless it's like a medical appointment, then we plan for that. But
you can't really plan for that either.
Yeah. But as far as podcasting, right now I'm trying to think of a Thanksgiving one. I have never done a Thanksgiving podcast.
Well,
It's time I do one. My channel is going to be 4 years old this November.
wow.
I know.
4 years old.
I'm still hovering at 200 subscribers, but I'll get there.
No,
It'll happen.
Why do you get 200 subscribers? I just have 100 of them. Why do you get 200?
Well, I just tell people, spread the word. The funny thing is, though, it's mostly people between the ages of 18 and 21 that are finding my channel. I found, and also I've seen
Okay,
a few other younger ones creeping in there.
That's just weird. That's just weird.
Yeah, I know.
Because I mean, I'm 30. You're in your 40s. I mean,
Correct.
really. Oh, that's so nice. Did Twyla come and sit down on her bed next to you?
no, she's
Oh.
in the other room.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. You were moving around so much. I thought.
I
But
purposely put her there.
with hoping that she would settle down and sit down over there. Yes. I see. But I mean,
But, yeah, I mean, just the age bracket. I always tell people, ask me, what's the age on my channel? Simple, 18 on up.
right, it is, but I don't know why you're getting that age bracket, because you have to be 18 to watch Aaron's opinion. I have it set like that on YouTube on purpose.
I know.
But okay, but then why are most of the people who listen and watch me in their 40s and 50s and 60s?
Right. And the thing is, I'm also mostly getting, and I have to really watch it, females. I rarely get, I got a few of them, male subscribers. But it's mostly women or young girls. And I have to really watch it because I've had several singles ask me, you married? Block.
Okay, that's Wayne. That is Wayne. You're getting some weird Wayne. You're attracting the weird people on your channel, man. How do you get those weird people? That's just
I wish
weird.
YouTube would show us who is subscribed to us. They only show it when they first subscribe, but you can't go to subscribe list to see who you got.
You know, I've never given that any thought. I mean, I see my number. I mean, sometimes if it's a person that subscribes to me, sometimes it's shown. Other times, a lot of times it's hidden. Quite frankly, I don't mind that. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, it would be impossible to know the names of all the subscribers. I don't know. You can. I mean, Whistler's an expert. Whistler can tell you all about it. I think when you hit 1,000, then there's like a big promotion for you if you hit 1,000. But yeah, or something, you know, or something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Hang on, I'm checking to see how many I have now. I use the YT Studio app.
Yeah.
Which is very accessible.
It is.
Hey, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be working, like I said, I'll be working on diamond painting for quite a while because I've got a ton of diamond paints and I'm always ordering more. So I'm not going to run out.
Well, that's good. Well, once I have your shop, I can put it up on.
202.
Oh, 202.
202.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Then I mean, because Wayne, you know, you kind of have, as I've said, as I always love to say, you have a very abrupt and kind of an annoying voice, but a very charming voice. So it's like, I don't know why young girls would want to be watching your content. I mean,
I know.
Hey, how do you think I met my husband?
Well, now that was a different video. That's for a different episode. But that's beside the point.
Get the word out of my mouth, bud.
I'm just saying I am still young. I'm only 34.
Well, I'm younger than you. I'm 30. But I think what it is too is how we come across on content, on how we come across, because I some people think I'm 40, some people think I'm 25. You know, I can have a very abrupt and a very firm way of talking to people sometimes. So, you know, it just really depends on who's watching. Yeah. I get about people in their most of my audience is in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Which is a pretty good age, you know, age range, I think. Yeah.
Well, I also think that a lot of people in that age bracket don't really watch YouTube.
What do you mean?
people in their 40s and 50s and 60s, they don't really spend a lot of time doing YouTube.
They're more busy spending time with their grandkids.
Or work.
Right.
So, and also,
It gives them something else to do, though.
yeah. And what I'm also doing with my podcast now, I'm constantly experimenting. I'm going to start putting different voices in the story. So even though the listener can still fill in the blanks, but I'm also going to add like other voices to different characters to make it more interesting.
Well, you know what else you could do now that I have a Blue Yeti, which is the first episode I'm recording on with the Blue Yeti ever. You know what else you could do?
Yeah.
You could have Aaron's opinion voice a character, and then the three of us could meet and actually kind of do a scene and do some voice acting for the character.
That's an idea to think about. Which reminds me, do you know of does the Blue Yeti work with the iPhone?
Do I know of a good what? I got to get used to hearing myself on this sound. This is a lot of a sound wise. This is a different experience. The what now? What's the question?
Say your question again, honey.
Huh?
Say your question again.
Do you know if the Blue Yeti microphone, or is there one in that company that works with the iPhone?
That's what he's using. He's using the Blue Yeti.
Right, but I'm over the iMac. I don't know. You could. I don't know. I think
the Blue Yeti does.
I would imagine that probably there is a way to pair the two. I think there is. I don't know how.
I used to share MV88, which cost me a pretty penny, about $250, but it's well worth it.
Let me tell you, this Blue Yeti is much cheaper than that. But anyway, guys, I like to keep these recordings around an hour. I just wanted to thank you guys for putting up with this new transition for me on the audio. You were very nice about that. I was a little lost when we started there. We're just getting used to how this feels with the new mic, but really appreciate it as always. And of course, keep up your great work. Jessica, send me that website for your Etsy, and I will definitely add it in the description. And I believe, as a matter of interest, I think you guys are the first episode of 2022, the first Thursday in 2020.
You mean the first? You mean this is still 2021, Aaron?
Right. But
post it.
I'm gonna right. It's gonna be because there are so many great guests ahead of you in the queue. Because the Spanish woman I interviewed earlier today was the 30th, which means that this episode will be published on the first Thursday of 2022. That's a lot of twos. That's going to be hard to say.
Wow.
So thanks so much.
Hey,
so thanks.
You're not writing it yet.
Right. All right, guys. Well, listen, you guys have, as always, keep up your great work. Hang in there, guys, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
All right.